What's your most NSFW family moment? Story 1. I was on a road trip with my parents and the family dog after my brother went to college, and we checked into a hotel room with 2 queen beds. My parents took one. The dog and I were in the other. My dad wanted to gross me out and said, "Now son, if you hear anything in the middle of the night, keep your eyes on that wall," and pointed behind me with one hand, putting his arm around my disgusted mom with the other. I put my arm around the dog and said, "Okay, but I expect the same courtesy." Edit. As thanks for the gold. I'll admit this here. I was not going for a best joke. I was going for a masturbation joke, and put my arm around the dog to try and look cool. Edit 2. Dog's name was Chip, not Colby. And this happened around 2002. This is the first one in the thread that got a laugh out of me. Well done, teenage you. Story 2. Thought it would be a good idea to make breakfast for my dad and stepmom. Cooked it all. Got it ready and bought the plates in. And thought bringing it in unannounced would be a wonderful surprise. I was not greeted by smiles. Instead, I was presented by an image that is forever burnt into my mind. My dad under the covers, obviously plugging away with my stepmom's head hanging off the side of the bed, with her eyes closed and showing me her face. I retreated quickly. But my brain went, well, better put that in permanent storage and make it one of the clearest memories possible. Don't worry, you won't be forgetting any detail at all. God, do our brains suckered sometimes? Why? Why would it see fit to remember such a thing? How about remembering how to tie a knot by looking at it? Or how to remember which snake is venomous? My brain does the same thing. I feel your pain. Story 3. Back when I was in high school, I worked with my girlfriend on weekends. After work, we'd go back to her house, and usually had 2-ish hours before her parents came home. On some days we'd take a nap. Other days we'd watch a movie or fool around, etc. One fateful Saturday, our nap session turned into seggs. As an aside, she was pretty loud, especially when she thought no one was home. So, we get started and everything is coming along nicely, when all of a sudden there's some aggressive banging on her bedroom door. Of course we freak out, get dressed, and open the door only to find that it was her sister's boyfriend messing with us. So, we shut the door and get back to business in a much more aggressive manner than initially. Her moaning is now more like yelling, and I'm humping with reckless abandon, when again there's another round of banging on the door. This time we ignore it and keep going for another 10-ish seconds, before we hear her dad scream at us through the door. He drove me home in his police cruiser immediately after that. 45-ish minutes in silence with his shotgun in the backseat, and a condom still on my super flaccid stick. Did you get to stay with her? Did the dad hate you forever? Yeah, we stayed together for another 6-ish months, before we broke up for other reasons. Her dad was actually really cool about it. After he had a little time to cool off, he easily could have told my parents about it and funked up my life. I was 15 and she was 16 at the time. But he kept it to himself and just gave me a lecture on respecting him and his house. Story 4. When I was 12 or 13, at a hotel room with my parents for a basketball tournament. Gold medal. Thanks for asking. They funked in the bed right next to mine, 10 minutes after lights out. I never mentioned it to anybody. Last weekend I was visiting NYC, and lo and behold we share a hotel room. They funked again. No way, babe. Oh, come on. He slept through it the last time we did at that basketball tournament. And from the next bed, muffled, no I didn't. Hey, at least your parents still have a healthy sex life after so many years. Desperate enough to do it in front of their kid twice. Plot twist. Those 2 times in front of the kid were the only times. Nothing else could do it for them. Edit. Okay guys, I got it. Opus's parents had sex when he was conceived. Stop telling me about it. Story 5. My husband and I had to move in with his parents for about 3 months, when we were having financial issues. as I have the very last bag in my hand, ready to move to our new home. I sat the bag on the living room floor and went to the bathroom. When I came out, something was going off in the bag. I said, "It's probably our son's Thomas's the tank toy." My mom-in-law dives right in and pulls out my vibrator and holds it up for like 30 seconds, like she's the Statue of Liberty holding up her funking torch. My father-in-law and brother-in-law were also right there in the room. Needless to say, they still bring it up. And Thomas the Train is now code for vibrator in that family. LOL. The things Thomas has seen, the places he's been. Some tunnels are just one way only. Story 6. Was having a wank when my dad walked in. Shocked, I turned around. I was clothed, just had my stick out. He asked what I was doing. Startled, I said, "Nothing." "Are you doing drugs?" That shocked me more than him finding me wanking. I told him no. And I said I was checking my balls for lumps. "Oh, okay then." And left. Nothing more said about it. Step 1. Breathe the drugs in through your stick. Till sticks can breathe. Is that why they go limp after being in a vagina for too long? They suffocate and die. Yeah, but it's only a little death, so they get better after about 10 or 15 minutes. Story 7. My grandma told my whole family at dinner that she had sex on the beach once. When asked when, she replied, "When I was 76. At least she is still getting it at that age. From what I understand, nursing homes have a very high rate of STD transfer. Old people get it on more than anyone would like to think about. I work for a delivery company where we deliver to a ton of retirement homes. The ladies outnumber the men like 5 to 1. Whenever we deliver to a man, the response to, "How's it going?" is great. I thought I'd hate this place. But it's all right. With that weird tone people get when they're talking about sex. Story 8. When I was really young, I was playing PlayStation in my brother's room. He has this giant poster of some blonde model, half naked. Paused the game for a quick 5-minute wank. I finished up and just looked towards his bedroom door. My mum literally just walked away as I looked up. Never got mentioned ever. I don't know what's worse, knowing you got caught or knowing she stood there and thought, "Do I say something?" No, best not. He is getting to that age after all. I'll just leave. But I'll watch him finish first. Don't make me need therapy, dude. I actually thought she'd just walked in at the moment and turned away as I looked up. She did. Right.